Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Welcome to this pick a card reading. We're going to call this one Three Ghost Reading, and this is going to be the three ghosts of holiday past, present, and future. We're going to look at the past year briefly, not the whole entire year, but what were the major lessons you learned, or the things you released, what you're leaving behind in this year, that kind of thing, in the year of 2021. And then we're going to look at where you are right now as we move into this holiday season of the present. And then we're going to look into the future forecast into next year, see where we're going from there, what those lessons, we learned, how those are going to translate into us moving forward into the new year. So it's the three ghosts holiday reading. So choose your card. Card number 1 with the Sodalite. Card number 2 with the Hematite. Card number 3 with the Desert Rose Quartz. And we'll see you below in the timestamps. And hello there, pile number 1, those who chose the Sodalite. And your first card out for the ghost of the holiday past is the reindeer medicine. And the reindeer medicine, this is telling us that on our journey in this last year, we've faced a lot of challenges, and we've had to learn endurance, how to overcome, how to keep pushing forward. And so some of the things that you endured this past year, could have been very difficult for you. You thought you couldn't do it. You got overwhelmed. There were times when you wanted to give up and quit. For whatever it was, this is about making your dreams come true. This is about, you had a vision and you wanted certain things to happen, and you had a lot of challenges and obstacles and things, but you have persevered through that with that dear reindeer medicine and moved through, and you did not give up. So you learned that you were stronger than you thought you were. You learned that you could handle things you thought you couldn't handle. It may have been difficult, but you did it. So that's your message there for the past year in part. Might go back to it a little bit, see what happens. We're going to look at the ghost of holiday present, and that is merriment. And we're going to pull the one for the future also, ghost of holiday or Christmas or Yule future. And we're going to extend this out into the next year of 2022, and we have Yule log here. So we have merriment for our present message. So that's about doing things in your life, following your soul, what truly makes your soul happy. We're looking at, we've come through all these challenges, and we know we've endured, and we faced a lot of obstacles, and now we're looking more at what is it that truly brings our soul joy within, what makes us feel merry. Has this been worth it, all this for what you were trying for? Is that going to fulfill you? The answer could be yes or no. This really doesn't tell us. It's just telling us that where you are right now is, that is your focus. You're looking at what's truly going to make your soul happy, not outside appearances, not what everyone else thinks it makes it happy, not what other things make other people happy. This is about you looking at yourself, looking at your soul, and asking yourself, what does this truly make me happy? What brings me joy? And what we're going to do is we're going to release the things that don't. We're releasing the things that do not make us happy. And we're going to start moving forward into things that do make us happy and joyful for our authentic self, and not for that what other people think about it. And in Yule log, as we move into 2022, the ghost of the future is telling us this is about letting go. This is about creation. This is about what I just said, releasing the things that don't make us happy. With the Yule log, again, it's the cycle. It's a cycle of birth and death and rebirth. So we clear out the old and we make space for all the beauty that's left to come. So we're on that theme here at the present and into the future of asking ourselves, what is truly going to make us happy here? You endured a lot, you learned your strength, and now you're wanting to go for what truly makes your heart happy. And you're going to continue on that and grow in that as we move into 2022. You're going to see the destruction of some things that you're going to let go and release, or they'll be destroyed in your life in some way, so that you can make room for what truly feels right to you and brings joy to you. Okay? So this is about going after what you truly want and you truly wish for, and what's going to make you happy. So let's see. I'm going to pull some tarot. And let's get some more information there. Yeah, see, you became very strong and courageous through this last year. You just had to face things, that you had to do things, like I said, you didn't want to do, and that gave you a lot of courage, put you more in control of yourself and your life. And now here you are with the Empress, giving birth to those things that truly create joy in your soul, and letting go of the things that don't. And this is where we don't want to return to. We started out not knowing. We learned a lot this past year. We learned to overcome obstacles. We learn now what we truly want. We're not going to be bound up any longer. So if you start to, what I want to say is, pile number one, if you start to feel those old feelings creeping in, I can't do this, I know what I want. No, look back. Look at what you've gone through. Look at what you've endured. Look at what you could do that you thought you couldn't do. Stop settling for what doesn't bring joy. It takes courage sometimes. And you've gained that over this last year. Strength and courage. It takes courage to release some things and let them go in order to move forward into what really brings us joy. So I want to say, in some ways, you're still dealing with some things that do not bring you joy, that bring you down, and that you want to release, but you're still in some way stuck in some area of your life. You're still undecided about some things, and there's still some confusions now. So what are we going to do about that? You still have some illusions. You're still holding on to something. You're not releasing and letting something go yet. And that is a lesson here for you, is that you need to do that. It's something in order to get to that place where you're there and you want to create that life. Like I said with this Empress here, you're doing that in a lot of ways. You've come a long way. You're still going. Moving forward, we need to get clear. When you get feeling like, oh, I don't know, the doubt comes in, the hanging on to things that aren't making you feel joyful. Don't allow yourself stop and get clear and say, wait a minute, this isn't bringing me joy. This is bringing me down. Whether that's a person, a place, a thing, whatever it is, you have to have your boundaries, and you have to say, no, we're not gonna go back to that. We went through a lot. We've done a lot of work in our life. We've done a lot of work on ourselves, and we're not gonna let this get us down. We're gonna be solid here. We're gonna be grounded. We're gonna have our stuff in order here. This, this queen has her stuff together. She has everything in order. This is in Earth energy. She's got everything in order. She's prosperous. She knows what she's doing, and so do you. And you don't need to be hanging on to things that bring you down, that get in your way, that make you feel all tied up and confused to where you don't know what you want. You know what you want. This could be a relationship, a person in your life who you need to set some boundaries with, is what I'm getting for some of you. It's like that last little thorn in your side, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, well, yeah, there's still something there. Okay, so you've come a long way. You're doing really well. You know what you want. You know what brings you joy. You know what doesn't. You know what you're bound to. You know what's causing that. You know what's causing that. You already know. And it's just a matter of you having the courage to break free, cut your ties, and break free from that. Cut those cords, cut your ties. Leave that place, leave that person, leave that business behind, leave whatever it is behind. That's those friends, just whatever it is, thinking, the way you think, working on changing your self-talk even. You know, we go up and down sometimes, and sometimes we get so far and then we kind of retreat because we're afraid or something like that. So you're being asked here to be courageous and, be in touch with your emotions here. You know how you feel, and you know what you want, and you know what it is that's in your way, and that's something you're going to need to work on as you move forward. So your message for the coming year in the future is, you know what this is. You know what this is. Now it's just going to be a matter of knowing that you can overcome that, release whatever that is that's stopping you from being, where you want that beautiful, what brings you that merriment, what brings you that joy, what do you want to give birth to here. You've done a lot of work on yourself. You've made a lot of changes in your life. You've moved forward in a big way here in the last year, within yourself and without, but you still have some snags. You still have something kind of holding you back, so don't let it. That's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to work on freeing yourself completely from that in a positive way. Move forward and leave behind the things, the people, the relationship, the whatever it is that's got you, that's just that last, thorn in your side, that you need to pull out so you can heal, move forward. Okay, so those are your messages, those who chose pile number 1. Take care and blessed be. And hello there, those who chose pile number 2. with this hematite, this protective hematite stone. And we have perseverance. So this is the ghost of the holiday past or Christmas past or Yule past, however you call it. Perseverance is telling me that you had a rough time this last year. You had a lot of things go wrong. You dropped your basket of apples. And some of that stuff was a loss. It spilled out. And the message in that card is that you had the strength. You had the strength through this last year. You built up the strength. You persevered through it all. It got pretty dark for you in some ways and difficult, but you persevered and you kept the faith and hope. And even when you stumbled and even when you felt like you couldn't go on, you did persevere. And this is a lot like the first reading as far as it's a different card, but is a lot of the same kind of message. So let's go to the present here with family. We have the card family. And for the future, we have from the Yule deck, contemplation. All right. So the present is the card family. And this card is just what it looks like. Feeling supported, feeling loved, feeling supported by family, whatever family is to you. Having that love, coming home, that feeling of coming home, feeling of security. But more so, it's about you looking at the traditions of your heritage, the traditions of your family, looking at back at the history and connecting more on a deeper level with that identity of that family that you come from. So it's like the foundation. And it's like you got off track, you got off track here in the last year in a lot of ways in your life, and you did a lot of I don't want to say you did a lot of things. You ran into a lot of obstacles. You ran into a lot of situations that made you feel, overwhelmed and powerless and lonely and that kind of energy. And now you're looking to be on a firmer foundation. You're looking back at you're looking to build a stronger foundation for yourself. Okay. You could be, maybe you need a better job and you need to go back to school or something to learn a new skill to get a better job because you're not financially feeling like you're firm in the financial way. You maybe have relationships in the past that were just not built on a firm foundation, and you need to start to understand. It's like you're learning what it means to have what's important to you in a relationship, and so that you can build the next one on a firmer foundation. So I want to say here that what I'm getting here is like the prodigal son or daughter, like you went off and just went off and were living your life and doing things your way, which is great. But it was almost like a rebellious kind of thing. So I'm getting for some of you, and it didn't really work out too well because you ended up here with your basket falling on the ground and you dropped your basket here. And you had to persevere here through some things because you made your choices and you did your things. And now what I'm seeing is you're wanting to come back to a more traditional, more firm foundation. You want to build firm foundation. So that's where you're at now in your life, is building that foundation. Like I said, it could be wanting to get a better job, wanting to, if you already have your own family, wanting to be in a better neighborhood, so you need that better job because you want to raise your kids in a better neighborhood or something, or be able to go to better schools, that sort of stuff. So what you're doing now is you're trying to just get yourself on a firmer foundation in some aspect of your life, or in all aspects of your life. If you're not already someone with a family, like I said before, you've had relationships that didn't work because they weren't built on trust and love and honoring one another and respecting one another. They were based on lust, and they were based on what you hoped for, and they were based on trying to change somebody, or someone trying to change you, and control and ego and all that stuff. And now you're ready for a better relationship that's based on love and respect and honor of one another, and truly loving one another and supporting one another. So that's the kind of relationship you're trying to build. And as you move into the future here, 2022, we have contemplation. It breathes in the stillness of all that is, exhaling all that isn't. Coming from the ends of the starts and the heights of the lows, here I gasp for the answers to unfold. So, with contemplation, what I want to say is we're looking at some of those things I was just talking about, reflecting. We learned the lessons. And now, as we move forward into 2022, we're gonna look at those lessons. We're going to understand where we've been. We're going to understand where we are. We're going to start to build on that, what I was talking about, that firmer foundation that we desire to have. Were there things I could have done differently? Yes. Were there things I did right and they were successful? Yes. So what we're looking at is, look at the losses and things, and look at the lesson. Look at the things that were successful for you and got you to where you are now, how you persevered, how did you do that, and look at those things and hold on to the things that worked and release and let go of the things that didn't within yourself, and you're mastering things. We all learn as we go. And I want to say this last year you've had a lot of lessons which brought you to this place now where you are really wanting a firm foundation in every area of your life. So you're going to be making those changes, like I said. You've been contemplating this year. As you move into 2022, you're going to start taking those actions to build those foundations firmer, learning new skills, that sort of thing, knowing what you want in a relationship, what you won't accept anymore, and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put some tarot, and let's just get some more clarity here. Whoops, there we go. The cards like to fly. They just fly all around. So, this one flew. And that's you looking at what didn't work, grieving over the losses and the pain that you've had to endure over this last year. But now you're looking over here. You're looking over here at the full cups, the bridge. How do I get across that river to that beautiful house over there to get what I want? So say you've had a lot of pain that you've had to deal with. And you learned a lot of lessons there, though, from that. Yeah. You had to go within and look, see? Really look and see those lessons and how do I build a firm foundation? What did I learn from that last, failure or failed relationship, failed whatever the situation? And now you're going to start to begin something new. Like I said, learning new skills. We're just knowing that what you don't want, you're pausing and resting and looking and seeing where it is we want to go next. We're getting in touch more with our emotions, getting our emotions in balance after a difficult period of time where we might have had a lot of emotional upheavals. And they were tough lessons you had to learn tough, is what I'm getting. You've been through it here. You've been through it. But now, like I said, you've moved on. You still could be healing in some ways, but you've moved on and now you're looking at it and saying, okay, what do I want to do from here? What do I want to, how do I get to where I want to be here? And that's what you're figuring out. So I think you've learned a lot, and like I said, look at those things. Don't forget what it is that makes you happy. Don't forget what you want to really build a relationship on. Don't forget what you truly want to. Don't forget that you need to learn some new skills, perhaps, or things, and go for it so you can get a better job, better, more money and that. You're really wanting more security and a stronger foundation, and that's what I'm getting mostly for pile number 2 here is, you've suffered through some things, and now you want to be on a firmer ground, and you're really, I want to say you're really, committed to that. That's where you are here now. So as you move forward, like I said, you may need to learn some things. You may need to start from scratch or at the bottom and work your way up in some way, but it's going to be worth it to work your way up. And you may need to, if you're not in a relationship now, and I'm thinking that's a big part of this reading too, is looking at what is that I really want from either this relationship you're in and putting up, and speaking that and sharing that and letting that person know, your person, that, this is not the way I want this anymore. I want us to change. I want us to grow together. I want us to, start going in a direction where we are on a more solid ground. And I want to say, if they're not willing, you got to do the hard work to get where you want to be. And you've been doing that. And now, see, we get the Page of Cups there. So use your intuition. Let your body tell you, and your higher consciousness tell you what feels right, what doesn't. If it's not feeling right, if it's not bringing you joy, if you don't feel like it's going to support you, if it's not going to be that foundation, we don't want to mess with it no more. We want to get on a firm foundation, and we want to move forward, and we want to have more security. We want to have more prosperity, and we want to have a relationship that is respectful and honors both persons in the relationship. So I think that's what we're looking for here in this reading, and that's what you're dedicating yourself to. You are, I want to say, this is really good and positive because you are determined by that. So you've learned a lot, and now you're ready to go after what you want, and you're determined to get it. Okay, so those are your messages there for pile number 2. I hope that helps you in some way. Take care, and blessed be. And hello those who chose pile number 3 with the Desert Rose Quartz. We have Frost for your Ghost of Holiday Past. Ice cold, melting in time, a frozen glance at what lies behind, what lies ahead, and what lies within, and the chilling frost of thy undead. Well, that's what we're doing. We're looking at the past and the present and the future here with this reading. So this is your past ghost, giving you the message of frost. So frost is about, this is about what we're doing right now. This is about divination and signs and seeing the signs and knowing, um, frost talks to us about frozen lakes and icicles and things that we can use to do scrying. And so this is asking you to look at the signs and subtle clues everywhere for those in tune with the universe. So what I want to say is, because this is the past card, you've been doing that. You've been learning that over this past year. You've been looking more for the signs. You've been more in touch with your intuition. You've been noticing those subtle clues, and you've been allowing that to be your guide in some sense, through this past year. You've looked all around you. You've known that you're being guided. You've been asking for that guidance. You've been trusting more in your ability to read those signs. So what I want to say here is, in the past year, you have really begun to really focus on that and trust that more than you did prior. Okay? So that's great. So where are we now? So a lot of things over this past year, you just probably just noticed yourself growing in that way, and noticed yourself trusting that more, trusting your own abilities and that sort of thing. So that's good, because I think a lot of us have done that in this past year, and I think that was just kind of the energy, part of the energy of the last year anyway. For a lot of us in the collective, we have gatherings for the present, the ghost of holiday present, and for the future we have ringing the bells. So, that's interesting. So, gatherings for the now, that's, well, exchanging gifts, festivity, gathering together. This is what we do on the holidays. It's a lot of us, not everybody. People who celebrate. You know, this card's telling me that right now in the present that you're being guided to be more, not be such a hermit if you've been kind of to yourself and not really wanting to do a lot of the gatherings for the holidays and that kind of thing. This is really asking you to get together with friends and family and go out and make new friends and do things like that. Partnerships are favored, so really being asked to open up more here in the now. So if you're not doing that, you're being guided to open up more, open up your heart more, open up yourself to experiencing new things. You've been trusting your intuition, you've been trusting the signs, and this is a sign for you to say, be more open to gather, be more open to new people, new things, going different places, doing things you haven't done before, and that kind of thing, and just being more open to connecting with others. So perhaps you're working on that now, or it's something that you're feeling within now, where you're feeling more ready to do that. Perhaps you've been through just a period of time where maybe you had a relationship that ended sometime last year or something, or you've spent the last year trying to kind of getting over that or something, and you haven't really been kind of closed off, or even friendships that didn't, that ended badly or something, people that you feel like they betrayed you in some way, or just were nasty towards you for some reason, and just had experiences where you felt like they kind of closed you off, and now you're being asked to, now you're coming to that place in the present where you can open up a little bit and gradually, you can't do everything in a day. You're not going to just go out and make a million friends tomorrow, you know what I mean? But it's to say be open. Be open. Be more open. Don't close yourself off. We can put, we can put a wall around ourselves and just everybody out. And it happens. As we move into the future, with the ghost of the future, we have ringing the bells, and ringing the bells to cast them out. Ringing thy bell and dance about. Swirl the sounds amidst the winds, nowhere to hide, for all will ring. Now this card, as we move into 2022, into our future, this is about casting out the people, the things, anybody, anything that's been working against you, that's been, whether it's maliciously or just unintentionally, but people who just have that negative, crappy energy, the toxic psychic vampires, the people who don't even know they're doing it, but they are. They walk into the room and you just feel your energy drain, and you're just like, oh my god, go get away from me. You're going to start to release those things in 2022, because you're going to trust this. What you learned here in the last year with the trust in your gut, trust in your body, trust in your intuition, seeing the signs, the red flags, those feelings that had you closed off, that had you feeling, you didn't want nobody around you because you've been around that kind of stuff, and that's why you got closed off there. And now you're opening up more, because now you feel more trusting of yourself and your gut and your intuition and the signs. So that's good. But you still have some stuff to unload, apparently, because you have that ringing the bell card. Boy, these cards are really a lot of the same kind of messages. So you were out here. See what I was just saying? You were out here feeling lost and alone and betrayed, and that mindset of lack and not being loved and not being cared for, not deserving of having, and feeling like you don't have enough and you're never going to get enough. But you're overcoming that. You've overcome that. And you're going to do the more of that as you move forward and toss out those energy vampires and those people, because you're going to follow that star and that inner guidance. You've really learned to trust yourself and trust in your own higher awareness and consciousness. And boy, did you ever, you have the tools. You have really, you've grown quite a lot in this last year. I want to say in that spiritual way, or in touch with your higher self, and understanding that you have all you need to create the life you want. And you've been working on that. So that's, see, look at you walking away from all that stuff. Walking away from all that stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. And doing that now, and you're going to keep doing that as we move into 2022. You're cleaning house here. See, you're letting, yeah, you're going to let a lot of that. I think you're going to surprise some folks, is what I think. You're going to surprise some folks. It's going to be one of those things where you go walk into work one day and you're like, okay, I'm done, I'm quitting, kind of thing. I got your 2 weeks notice, I'm done. And they're going to be stunned because you never said anything. Or just different people in your life where you say, where you just, tell them, you bring me down all the time. Or you don't say anything, and you just sort of quit calling them and quit being around them. Say no when they ask you to go places or that kind of stuff. You're just gonna walk away from them. Definitely gonna let something end here. There's definitely endings here in the present. Things are ending now, in this moment, in this time, because you're gonna move forward into the new year. Really ringing those bells and releasing those people and starting new things that are more positive and more prosperous, and just bring you more joy and make you feel happier. Things that help lift you up, people who are supportive and uplifting rather than bringing you down all the time and making you feel like that. So, this comes out in your 2022, in this future. So, you may still have some of this lingering on, and that's why we're showing you this ringing the bells for the future, because you wouldn't need to be doing it if you didn't still have some of that stuff hanging on. Worry and stress and all of that stuff, but you're going to ring those bells there and clear away all that stuff. But don't be surprised, if you still have those moments as you move forward, because you're going to come into something new here, but you're doing it. It's gradual, It's you don't wake up in the morning and just change your whole life in a day. Relationships don't go just in a day, These are gradual things we're releasing, but you will. You know what I mean? You're working on that. You know what it is. You know who they are. You're gonna get things back into balance here. And look, you see, when you clear away all the things that are bringing you down and holding you back and stopping you from moving forward, then you will come into something new. A new love, perhaps, for some of you in 2022. After you get rid of all that old stuff, no junk. Right? A beautiful new relationship, beautiful new friendship, a beautiful new partnership in some way. Yeah, you're gonna turn that wheel. You're gonna leave a lot of stuff behind here. I feel like you're coming to a real, one of those very significant moments in your life where you're just gonna change some things. You're gonna release and let go of a lot of things, so you're just gonna clean house in a lot of ways, so you can move forward into something better. And once you do that, you see, you're making room for love, real love, good love, making room. For a lot of you, it's about a relationship coming in this coming year, because something in the past here has been making you feel like that and like that, out in the cold, not supported, injured. But that star's showing up for you and guiding you. So, like I said, there's still some of that there, but you're clearing it away because you're ringing those bells and you're moving forward. You're gonna spin that wheel, turn that wheel. You got love here coming in for you. Pile number 3. So, I'm gonna leave it there because I think that's pretty much the message for you, and I hope that helps you in some way. So, take care and be blessed.